I was just down.
Hey guys, this is PassTheMike, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. So this is a game I just bought off of Steam, and it looked really interesting. And as you can see, like over here, it's kind of weird because as you move your mouse, the picture on the screen moves with it. And I think it's kind of like a game based around that concept. So all I really know about it is you're an average worker, and it seems like a pretty funny game, while at the same time it's kind of creepy, but it's not really a scary game. So I'm interested to see how this goes. I really like the concept, and as you hear in the background, it's just a bunch of office workers. So I'm gonna get right into this. And yeah, here we go. End is never the end, is never the end, is loading net. What? It said something like that on the loading screen too. It was just like a bunch of words across the screen, and then it said like the company's name that made the game, and it had a ton of more words. Yeah. Here we go. Click this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in. As though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Alright, nice! Okay. So I'm stepping out of my office. This is very out of the norm, Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The meeting room? Where's the meeting room?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What does this say on the computer? Yeah, I can't read that. Never mind. The computer... That computer's on. 437. Huh. More computers that are on. The paper's thrown around all over in there. What happened? Can I go through these doors?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I like the narrator. That's great. Alright. No door will open.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait. What if I go through the right door? I'm gonna go through the right door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I was wondering if I wonder if, like, if I keep disobeying the rules, the narrators will start getting mad at me. Oh my gosh, none of these doors open.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
That's great. Alright, where am I going?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
But... fine, I'll...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm disobeying all the rules. Oh my gosh, what am I doing?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Left. What if I go right? Oh, I can't go right. Dang. Okay. This game's cool, I like it.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Oh my gosh, narrator.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Narrator, do you not know where I am?
No, let's see. Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Alright, I like these. The games with the funny narrators. It's great. It is truly... What the...
No! This isn't right at all. We're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay. From the top.
It just relaunches the game, are you serious?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh my
What could it
god!
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, fine. I will obey the rules this time. Can I still not open these doors? Probably not. 425, 426. So someone's been watching all my coworkers. And I don't like that. Because that's scary.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on.
Maybe?
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
It's fine. I can't even go through this door because the freaking chairs are blocking it. So, let's see. Right is always right, but 1 or 2. Oh, they look like they go to the same place. Okay, so they're going right. This is weird. Stanley? Where are we going? Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Narrator, can you shut up?
Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
I find it unlikely.
Everyone
that
knows
we'll
what you
ever
did. They're
progress
just
by
holding back
starting
to let
over
you
and over
torture
again.
yourself.
It's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh my gosh, we're restarting the game again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is weird. I like it though.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Oh my gosh, what the? No, I'm going backwards.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way
What?
and retrace our steps.
What is happening? What the heck?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
You win!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Yeah, where the
I don't
heck
care
am
what
I?
might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay, fine. Do your thing, narrator. We'll restart. End is never the end, is never the end, is loading. What's this?
All right, I've got a solution.
He made it. Oh, I just minimized the game.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Well, what if I don't want to follow the line? I mean, I'm the one that kind of broke the rules before and probably made everything go wrong. I didn't go this way before. Okay.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
I am
Though,
Mr. Narrator.
here's a
I'm
thought.
doing exactly as I'm
Wouldn't
told. What
wherever
time
we
is it?
end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley,
shut
I
up,
need to follow
please.
this
I'm
train
trying
of
to
thought for a
say
minute. Just
something
stick
to
with
the
me.
viewers.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact... Now, if my experience of your existence...
Narrator, shut
rests
up!
inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my
Alright, well,
own
anyway,
relative
at least I know
experiential,
it's
mental,
11:20,
subjective...
narrator's still talking.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
What the?
Not sure where I was going with all that.
Why is the
You know what?
line
I
go-
think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Perfect. What the heck? This line. Narrator, I think we're a bit drunk when drawing this. I have no idea how well you guys can hear me over the sound of this music, but this music is blasting through my eardrums. Hello, red light, where am I going?
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Really?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright, here, let me just take a screenshot of it. There you go. Done. Alright, let's continue on.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Yeah, and there's a new line.
No, line. You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
No. The line says no. Who even drew this line? Did you draw this line? Ha! It comes right back here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh my gosh. How many times are you gonna restart the game, narrator? The Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Which direction? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that way? Okay. Sure. Let's go this way.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
An amusement park.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Let's do something fun, like a horror game.
No,
What the?
not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Oh.
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
But the
We
line
should be
will bring me
fine.
to the fun room. I want to go follow the line. The line will bring me to the fun room with all the monitors. Oh, the line's gone. Never mind. Screw that.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
Right.
From here, the story is in our control.
Any of you who've
How
watched any of my other
important we mustn't
videos,
squander
right is always
the
right, guys.
opportunity.
Remember
In
that.
fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that
Hey, narrator.
somewhere, the place where we're
Getting a
trying
bit
to
sick.
go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn
Narrator.
means that our destination corresponds
Narrator.
with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead
Yes.
us to where we're going?
Yep.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then
Good.
by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Yep.
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
I'm glad the right door was the right one, because that's
Oh, hold up. What's this?
the confusion ending. Find the
confusion
confusing ending scare
You're telling
schedule.
me
Narrator restarts
that's
the
what
game.
this
Fifth
is?
restart.
It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind
Narrator
goes
forgets
blank
about
simply
previous
because it's
restarts.
written here on this thing wall.
Find the
Well,
confusing schedule.
who consulted me?
Narrator restarts the game.
Why don't
Fifth
I get to
restarts. Narrator
decide?
forgets about.
Why
Wait, what's
don't
gonna happen?
I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped.
You
Does that
broke the
mean,
game. Good job, narrator.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Yep.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
The narrator's gone after a
Will
long time.
someone
Stanley
comfort-
dies. That's how the game ends.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I
There's-
suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Oh my gosh. Did he just restart the game or the game restarted on its own? Uh-oh. I'm really liking this game, guys. It's hilarious. Okay, so.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, no.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So the game automatically restarts. And it said that eventually I wouldn't be able to go anywhere, open any doors, do anything. And then suddenly the narrator
When
will
Stanley
disappear.
came to a set of 2 open doors,
Going left.
he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna do the right thing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna do the right thing. I want to see what happens. Is the game still gonna...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Wait. Oh, here it is. Duh.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And
I did not see
Stanley
that.
got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Alright, narrator. Do your thing. Now I'm gonna start disobeying the rules again. I want to see what happens then. Actually, no, I should probably continue to follow the rules. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Because this utopia is no longer a utopia. It's a dystopia. Huh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Why?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed
Hey,
with
here we are, we're
television
back in here.
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
See, this is the same room with all the monitors. But this is, I'm assuming this is how it was supposed to be played, and this is what was supposed to happen. But then I walked into the other doors. What do I do? Oh. Push that
Now
button.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
So the narrator isn't like fighting back anymore. That's kind of weird.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Yep.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep. That's exactly
No.
what happened.
He refused to believe it. He
Okay.
couldn't accept it. His
Right.
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
You're lying to
Wasn't
yourself.
it? Was
No.
it even possible? Had
Yes.
he truly spent his entire life
Yes.
utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking,
fine.
eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Console disabled. Yeah, so everything is disabled, so that's probably why we're like free to think what we want. Oh, I didn't go in here before. Oh, I thought I did.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
And that's why I clicked on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Oh,
After
no.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yep.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
It didn't work.
But
I
I'm
thought the buttons
enjoying
worked.
this so much. You know what? To hell with it.
Oh, I didn't
I'm
realize.
going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Good.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
I'm gonna try
Running
counting
from
down.
button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action
I didn't see
moving
these
along.
buttons before.
It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world.
So I wonder what would have happened if I clicked the other
So
button.
you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
I might go back and play the second ending if this is different.
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life?
Oh my god, the
or will you
music
let
is
it go?
going insane.
Another choice. Make it count.
Goodbye.
It's all
Goodbye, world.
all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be
What?
laughing at every second of your inevitable life
Oh,
from the moment we
crap.
fade in
Well,
until
goodbye.
the moment I say happily ever up.
And I blew up. Was that the ending? What's happening? So, I wonder what would have happened if I clicked to end the thing. I wonder if the narrator still would have went insane, or if everything would have been... Whoa.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
It seemed
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your
Definitely getting Portal vibes from this whole
to
experience.
put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Uh-oh.
She's been waiting.
Who?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
What? Who is she?
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
What?
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn.
Whoa.
Gotcha!
Oh my god.
Come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Oh my gosh.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh no. Good morning, employee. 427, press K on your keyboard. Oh, I tried clicking a different key to see what happened,
Stanley is
but...
quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely getting Portal vibes from this whole experience. I really would wonder what would happen if I clicked the other thing. I don't know if we'll do the second ending or not, but we'll see how everything goes.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
And
so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
weird.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
This is so weird.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no
And there
answer.
you go. I knew that was going to
How could
happen.
there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
Turning my
Nothing has
office.
changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I mean, if I do, he's just going to complain about how I do.
You see?
Yep, I did
Can he
it.
just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Please press 6 to question nothing. What?
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I...
Oh, I was like, what just happened? I thought my game crashed or something. And, see, so now we're at the stages where it said that the game restarts itself, but I remember...
All of his co-workers were gone. He came to a set of 2 open
I'll do
doors.
left.
He entered the door on his left.
I don't know whether to listen to him or not.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Going down the
upstairs
steps.
to his boss's office.
Because it really makes you think, what if you did the right thing every single time? Would everything be this much of a
But
mess?
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
This is just
None of it made
infinitely
any logical
repeating.
sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did
That's
doors
true.
close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
Yes.
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon, I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and
Oh my gosh.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all...
It's getting really philosophical.
The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
It's still just
closed
repeating.
his
I don't know
eyes gently,
if there's a way I can break
and he
this.
invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Wow. This game, man. Wow, it's so much different than the way it started.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Wow.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh my
Though
gosh.
she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this.
He's gonna go
and
insane.
in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for
Oh
that
my
day.
gosh, she's just
The
gonna keep
very
repeating with
important
different people.
whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Is that it? Is that it? It's still going. Oh, okay.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself.
What?
Minutes? Days? Centuries? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna do exactly what the narrator tells me to. We'll see what's gonna happen.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh. Maybe I have to turn it off. I didn't think of that.
The lights rose on an enormous room.
What if I have to
packed
go
with
back into that
television
room and turn the
screens?
thing off?
What horror commanded from this very place? And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery
Here
would
goes
never
nothing.
again exert its terrible
Okay, we're gonna turn the
power.
thing off. What happens? What's gonna happen? Is that it? It's definitely.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Nope.
Yes! He had
Really?
won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking.
Look
but
at the
happiness.
outside.
Perhaps his goal had not been to
Just like
understand,
Portal.
but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his, and that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt
Here we
the
go.
cool breeze upon his skin. The
So there's just a
feeling of
giant
liberation,
facility out in the middle of
the
nowhere.
immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way,
I mean,
right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
is that it? Beat the game. Wow. So, I bet you the game's just gonna restart. Yep, there you go. Right? Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. That was a really, really awesome game. I really enjoyed that. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. I would definitely rate it 5 out of 5. And I really like games like this. So if you guys have any other games that are kind of like this that you could recommend, I would definitely play it. Because I really like these kinds of games. Because they really just like mess with you. And they really change your opinion on everything. So I'm assuming there were 2 different endings that I played. And like the message is hard to understand. So I guess really the whole story is about someone who went crazy. I mean, like the first ending, they went crazy and they died on the sidewalk, and then it made the other person question what they were doing, and then I guess they went insane as well. So I mean, you really never know what happens in these games. I mean, it's just an interesting concept, and you really can't think about it too hard. But I really like the game. Game developers, if you're watching this, you did a fantastic job. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. I don't know how long this video will be. It might be an hour. So if it was and you guys got all the way through it, I really hope you guys did enjoy. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. That's really all I can say. I really wonder what the inspiration to this game was. Like, I wonder what the developers were thinking of when they designed it. Yeah, it was really cool. Have you guys' debate on what you think overall in the end this game was supposed to mean. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. I love this game. hopefully you guys did as well, and I will catch you guys in the next video.